Hello, this is Sheri Yates. Today, I'm introducing you to a brand new podcast called Equipped to Stand, where I'll be your host and probably the primary speaker every week. I will have guests from time to time. Here's the deal. This morning, I woke up and read Genesis 22. God told Abraham, "Take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you love so much, and go to the land of Moriah. Go and sacrifice him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains, which I will show you." The next morning, Abraham got up early. He saddled his donkey and took 2 of his servants with him, along with his son Isaac. Then he chopped wood for the fire for the burnt offering and set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day of their journey, Abraham looked up and saw a place in the distance. "Stay here with the donkey," Abraham told the servants. "The boy and I will travel a little further. We will worship there, and then we will come right back." So Abraham placed the wood and the burnt offering on Isaac's shoulders, while he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the 2 of them walked together, Isaac turned to Abraham and said, "Father." "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "We have the fire and the wood," the boy said. "Where is the sheep for the burnt offering?" "God will provide a sheep for the burnt offering, my son," Abraham answered. Wow, I'm overwhelmed by Abraham's faith because the Lord told him to sacrifice his only son that he loved so much. Abraham did not delay. Probably the hardest sacrifice of his entire life. Abraham, the very next morning, got up early to obey his God. He loved the Lord so much and he trusted him so much that when Isaac asked him, "Where's the offering?" Abraham answered, "God will provide." So this morning, I was so strongly convicted that I have had delayed obedience, where the Lord has told me to start this podcast, Equipped to Stand. I have delayed. I've been working on this for months, but actually I have been toiling and deferring my obedience. Delayed obedience is just plain disobedience. So I saddled up my donkey and I brought my computer and my microphone and all of the things that I would need to start this podcast today, January 20th, 2022, as my sacrifice to obey God above my fear of man, failure, and above disappointing myself, my Father, and you all. I pray that Equipped to Stand will bring you to a place where you know that God has provided for you already. He has already equipped you to stand. Just like Abraham telling Isaac, God will provide. The Lord has already provided for you. He's a good Father. This podcast is about the heart of God, that He's finished the work and He has equipped you to stand. So in a couple of years, we have all been under an overshadowing of fear and pressure to feel afraid of what the outcome might be. We've had loss and pain and so much trouble in our world. And I believe it's time for you as the bride of Christ, as the church, for you and I to stand up, for us to take our place, to stand firm. Because Ephesians says, when we've done all that we can do to stand, stand. That means that when you're completely exhausted and you've done everything in your power to stand firm, stand. What do you stand in? You stand in the Lord's strength. When you are weak, He is your strength. So Equipped to Stand is about knowing you're equipped already. We will take a subject a week and we will dig in together and we will go on this journey and strengthen our faith so we can be like Abraham and say, yes, God will provide. I will do the hard things because I know you have already finished it, Lord. You've equipped me and I will stand firm in you. Thank you for joining me on my very first podcast ever. You're with Sheri Yates on Equipped to Stand. I love you all. Please keep in touch with me and let's go on this journey together.